Welcome back, my little moon boys. What a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. And man, did we nail it. 5 days ago I made this video. Bitcoin to 120k and Ethereum to 3200. 120k, we were right here trading at 111, 112, and I said we are holding this value area high and this trend line. I think we can see 120k, and the reason for that price level actually was very simple. It was a negative fib. Matter of fact, I also just drew it right there on the video. Let me see, 61, there you go, that's actually already enough. There you can see it, this fake red line. We went slightly higher, 61, 65, and bada bing, bada boom. Now we're seeing that rejection on that negative fib. So a bit more than 120k was the target, and we hit it to the damn perfection. Very nice. ETH has not hit 3200 yet, but I think we're going to see it very soon, and I'm going to give you of course an update about what I expect in the next couple days. So if you like the content, please do me a favor, like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think this is useful. Without further ado, let's start diving in. Like I said, we're seeing now a little bit of a cool down period, a little bit of a retrace. Some people are panicking. Yes, if you bought at 120k, 121k, you should be panicking. Most likely you're gonna get liquidated, but if you're holding your longs from this area when I gave it to you, then you should be good. So, what am I looking at? Let's first start off. You know what? Yeah, actually, you know what? Let's first start off with Mark 5B. I think that's a bit easier. It's a bit all over the place, I'm going to be honest. If we are just looking here on the daily, we are having a red dot. It's most likely going to confirm in a couple hours from now, and it is probably some relief that is necessary. So the best option is this is coming down a little bit, but price is just going sideways. We're just trending. We're making something of a local structure, or yeah, just a local range. That actually would be the best, not that we're getting a mega dump. If I'm then zooming in on the 8 hour, actually this still looks incredibly good. Yes, momentum waves down, but look how fat that money flow VWAP is curving up, and the RSIs are looking damn good. So that already looks pretty okay. Then on the 4 hour, I think we need 1 or 2 more 4 hour candles, and then this can curve back up. Money flow is still super fat in the green, and so also these RSI look good. Only the VWAP is a little bit inward curve, but other than that, I would give it a pass. And then on the 1 hour, we do have that huge hump here. But usually, if we have these raging bull markets, then you can see that we spent a little bit of time in the red and a lot in the green. Actually, this is a very nice example. You can also see here that we have a lot and a fat green money flow, and then a little bit in the red, and then in the green again, a little bit in the red, and boom, you have this major move. So if this goes into the red, I will not be all too concerned. I'm expecting then just some local, like I said, local relief. Just spend a little bit of time there and then to go higher. So what are the trades that I am looking at for BTC? Relatively simple. I had 2 trades, and at least for today, and those are very specific levels. So far we haven't had that. Let me quickly pull this up, because I already shared this on the Discord. By the way, if you want to join, feel free to join. It's completely for free. You can find the link in the description. And here, this was a short from the local VWAP of that day, but we have tapped that already once, and yeah, there we didn't get a really good reaction. So far I would not take that trade anymore. Then the second one would be a short if we hit the previous day low. Also, so far we haven't had that. And then a classic short here from the golden pocket, and that was then measured from the high that we created, 123,000, all the way to the lows and then back up. I need to redraw this now a little bit, I see, because we have made a new low, but this would be approximately then the trade, and that will be again a short from the golden pocket previous day EQ. That would still be on the table even after tomorrow, because of course the previous day EQ will move, but the golden pocket and the 78.6 for a lower high would still be very juicy. Then on the long side, I have 2 major long levels. One is a SFP. Let me quickly take the VWAP out so that you guys can see it. And that is an SFP from this level right here. That is 115,211, 115 to 11. If we get a clean SFP, so a price wick underneath, a reclaim and then higher, that would be a very nice long trade. And the other long trade would be a single print. So if we then go lower, fill this void, get into the single print and then go higher, that would also be a very nice long trade at and around 114k. With that being said, 114k, a lot of people miss this, but let me go real quick to the CME chart. And you can see that we have a CME gap from Thursday to Friday last week. So this CME gap, the blue box that you see here on my screen, was created last week, Thursday to Friday. Or is it the week before? 10th of July, 11th of July. Oh, okay, yeah, so last week. Great. So if price would eventually then come down and fill that box, that then again and also lines up with the single print that I just gave you, that actually would also be a very nice long trade. However, I do want to see an immediate reaction. So we can come down, fill it, and then right away go up. We cannot spend here forever time and then eventually 48 hours later we're going higher, because that is just too much. You want to see that fill and boom, right away higher. Then there have been auction at the price level, buyers and sellers were able to exchange, and then we want to go higher, but do not spend time there, because then we're trying to find value, fair price, and then there's a big chance that eventually is a bit more bearish, because then you also really have changed the market structure. So you want to see again immediate reaction. So back then to the chart, let me quickly go back. That is bada bing bada boom. This one, I think then we also right away had all the trades. Yeah, so 3 shorts, 2 possible longs. Let's then also move over to ETH. That chart is actually a bit more interesting. So watch this. We have a drop of approximately 6% here on BTC. But then if I look at ETH, you can see that we did not have that drop at all. There was a few percentage, but actually we have not taken out the weekend lows. I marked it here on the chart. It is 2905, that is the weekend lows. BTC have already taken them out. Matter of fact, we also created now again a higher high compared to yesterday, and BTC has not taken out Monday high. There the high was made during the London session and it's not been taken out. Let me quickly zoom out, because you might be thinking, what the hell is that blue, what I'm looking at? That is a big support and resistance box. I have that already on my chart for a while, and as you can see, if we're looking back here on the time, that that has been support and resistance an awful lot of times. You can see that most of the times price also spent quite some time in there before we eventually break it or backtest it, and that is a pretty big area. Starts off from 2800 all the way to 3000. So we are right now at and around that level. So if we have a little bit of a hold up, a little bit of a zigzag, I would not be surprised. But there are 2 major levels actually on the upside that I'm looking at, and that is that 3200, the one that I gave you in the previous video where I said ETH to 3200, because there are not a lot of people looking at that level. And why 3200? Well, if you're zooming in, then you can see that that is a very exact price level where we have a awful lot of daily candles opening, closing, stopping out, finding support, finding resistance. So it is a very specific price level, but in the past it has worked wonders. So I am really looking for that 3200. Would we claim that? Then I have 3,335. That's a massive point of control. You can see how much volume has been exchanged at that level. 3,335, and above that nothing until more than 4,000. After that we're going to take out the highs 4,100, 4,100 once we reclaim that point of control, and then it's yippee to the upside. But we'll cross those bridges once we're there. What I'm looking for now, what I'm hoping for now, is that we're seeing a little bit of a move down. Let me also zoom in here so that you guys can see it. This box stays there, but there are actually 2 major levels that I'm looking at. First one is to take out those weekend lows, and again 2905. So if we do something like this, then get back into the range and then go higher, this could be a very nice long trade. And the second one would also be a fill of the single print, but since BTC is already dumping down more and further, I'm not sure if BTC fills up that single print and goes higher. If ETH is then also here at these lows, I wouldn't be surprised if it is somewhere at this level or even higher. So we have to see where ETH is in relationship to BTC once we're there, but so far this could be a very nice long trade. One last thing that I want to share with you before I'm wrapping it up, and this is something that I noticed earlier this week. You see this thick white trend line in my screen, and that is a support and resistance that is already in play all the way from April 2025. Now, this is not something I would right away set limit orders around, but it is just nice to know that we have a trend line, we have something in the chart that so far has worked perfectly. This is 1, 2, 3. Then here we'll break it, retest it, break it. So if we would now come down again at another trend line, really depends of course on which price level it is, which day it is. If we go further in time, of course it's a bit higher here in the trend line. But if it matches up with another level, that actually could be a very nice long trade. Again, I would never set limit orders around something like this because, hey, a trend line is just something that you draw into the chart. So it's very subjective, but I just want to share it with you anyways. Look back in the chart, zoom out to the daily or to the 2-day, and then you can see that you can draw it. Again, it starts off here from these lows at and around 9 of April, and then just do a diagonal and you would see how many nice touch points you have. So definitely draw that in your chart and make sure that you have alerts. Then for the shorts, I actually have no shorts until 3200. Would we get to that level and we're seeing again a clear rejection, that does not have to happen right away. Again, we just earlier looked at the daily candle, so if this happens within a day, then I would still take the trade, put the stop loss 1, 2 or 3% above my entry, and then just let it ride. Like I said, that 3200 so far has done absolutely miracles. So if we see something of retrace, 4, 5, 6% could still be a very nice trade, and then to go higher again. If we do not see a clear reaction and we're just busting through, closing the daily candle far above, it's a no trade and you just let it go. So I'm really waiting for a daily close to see how price reacts. Don't rush into such a trades. There's more time than you think. But all in all, ETH looks super good because where BTC is dumping down, you can see that ETH is still making higher highs and higher lows, and this just looks super strong, and it also will reflect into the altcoins. With that being said, I will chart many altcoins this week, and I will make a dedicated video for any altcoin that I'm going to chart. If you have any requests, then please let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to have a look at it. I will chart them and I will post them then on the YouTube. Everything completely for free. And what is also completely for free is the Discord, so make sure that you check that out. Link in the description, and I'll see you guys there. And when you're down there anyways, also please make sure that you like, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Thank you guys so much. See you in the next one. Bye bye.